Alright guys, welcome to the show. We are live from chess.com, live from Sunday. And yeah, we have some new faces in the tournament and we are getting straight into the action. I hope you can see the screen. I know you cannot see any games yet, but we are getting there right away. So first on my menu is Harp 98 game, who's playing Pontiani opening, or he's facing it. Good for them, but I need to create a bar first to add some games, so yeah. Not gonna commentate right away, but you have to wait for a bit before I set everything up. First, let me add some matches. So here we have Hamburg against Havani Herani. A lot of exchanges already, as you can see. Yeah, they're going crazy there. Then we have Tilda Goat against Omar 2005. And then we have Runter von Meer, 2x champion, against Robert De Miro. And then let me add one more match to the screen. Ranveer is playing as Nash Sparrow. All right. And we're here. Hi everyone, hello and hi. Reisdorfer Open. What's that? I have no idea. Anyways, as promised, we're getting back to slow pawn 7 against Harp 98. I'm rooting for my boy Harp 98, who is clearly not a favorite based on the rating, but whatever, let's go. Hopefully David will win. Where is David? Is he playing right now? Somewhere? Somewhere, I don't know. Is he playing at Reisdorfer Open? I need more information. I have no information. Anyways, what's happening in this match? We have Pontiani opening, as I mentioned 2 minutes ago, or less. And yes, so far, so good. Looks equalish. Slow pawn is going for some tactics. Or simply exchange, I guess. Don't really see a tactic, will they? Trade queens? They could. Nothing stops them from trading queens. This pawn on d4 is sort of awkward. Maybe black will play something like this, forcing end pass on and then defending it by the rook. But first there's a question whether queens will be traded in this match. You're bad-mouthing Ranveer. How dare you? Everyone is a great player. I was just looking at my pictures today on my phone or on my drive, and I saw pictures from my very first chess tournament, which was around 2 years ago, I believe. And I see Ranveer in that picture. So Ranveer was playing in the first tournament I ever played of chess. So that's super cool. So I got my respects for Ranveer. He's been to every tournament I've been, almost. Anyways, YouTube suggests me I should add some moderation, because there's a lot of violence in the chat, I assume. But yeah, the important question that we had is that the queen trade indeed didn't happen, but black still attacks the queen. So perhaps one of the players should be careful. But surprisingly very equal match, and wow, in the other game Daniel won against Havani already, pretty fast. That's surprising. But good for them. Let's get back here. And maybe I can add some other match to the show. We also have this game. JG against Hendrik 42. This one is also looking equalish at the moment, but it can change at any moment. Because we're leaving, once again, we're going back to the game between Harp 98 and slow pawn 7. Is slow pawn up a pawn, up a slow pawn, or up a fast pawn? I have no idea. But he's also invading the king side from here, which doesn't look dangerous at the first point. Well, now it does because this threat on some 8. But yeah, let's see what black does about this. What can he do? Can he do anything? Maybe that's just a checkmate. It is just a checkmate. Alright. Well played by slow pawn 7. And let's go to this game. I'm curious about who Tilda Goat is. And there's also Omar, my teammate, who was struggling together with me today at the Blitz Championship. Good times. Well, Aman, you tried your best. I think it was decently looking until the checkmate, but checkmate is, of course, the end of the show. But there is 5 more games, so don't give up. I think you did pretty nicely there. And to be fair, your opponent was also fairly highly rated. Fairly highly rated. Do you even use 2 adverbs like this? I have no idea. I guess I have to. Well, in this game, looks like Omar is having a nice attack here. Right now this knight is double attacked. I guess knight has to move. And knight does indeed move away. And yeah, Omar is 3 pawns up. That's quite an advantage to have out of the middle game, I assume. They played Karo Khan. I didn't know he played Karo Khan. Now I know. I got some coffee today for the tournament, so hopefully I can commentate better than last week. Last week my commentary was pretty awful. So today I will be hoping that coffee does something, does some miracle, does the wonder to my speaking abilities, which is not necessarily guaranteed. Alright, another attack on the white queen. Let me draw a nice arrow. What will white do? I was thinking if white will attack the queen himself, but I guess, yeah. Defense is first priority. Simply moving queen away. For safety, black wants to trade. Black has 3 pawns advantage. He wants to trade queens to make the game easier, and that makes sense. And white tries to win at least 1 pawn back while doing this. I guess nothing speaks against this, because it comes with a check, if he still wants to trade. But maybe Omar is looking for something better. He also has almost 2 minutes of advantage, so that's a nice thing. So there's a comment from Kung Fu Panda 09. I play like shit right now. I don't know what your nickname is in the game, but it will get better. All of us have bad days. I had one of the worst days today, judging by the Blitz Championship. But yeah, that's how it goes in chess. Sometimes there are good days, sometimes there are bad days. So what do we have here? Yeah, Omar is still 3 pawns up. Good for him. So right now they're also rooks facing each other. I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes the rook here. For convenience sake. Keep trading. Make the game easier. No, he goes for more. He wants more than just trading. He puts his knight in a more aggressive position, and now there's this trade, potentially. Yeah, I assume this will happen actually. Although, it's still an awkward thing to play, like knight and bishop against knight and bishop. But 3 pawns of advantage is still good enough. Alright, yeah. He missed the tactic, black won another piece, and white resigns. Well done by Omar, and I think every single game has finished. So let's get back to the tournament. We are going into round number 2. So first of all, we are opening the game of Harp 98. There's some e3 opening, fascinating stuff. e3, e4 on second move, very cool. Maybe that's just disrespect, but whatever. There's also this fascinating match between Nash Sparrow and El Hamburguesito, and there's also Runter von Mir against Slow Pawn 7. Both have 1 point after first round, so that's also very interesting. Here we have Hendrik 42 against Music 7 High. I have no idea who Music 7 High is. But a new player with 800 rating must be someone from Lichess, someone super strong, hiding under new account. Let's respect that. We welcome new people from Lichess over here. And let's add another game. Oh, I see another new face, but perhaps we'll look at that later. Let's also put this game. Omar against Havani, also very promising. Omar has 1 point, but Havani has almost 2000 elo, so that's kind of interesting. So first let's go to this board between Robert De Miro against Harp 98. So let's remind you there was fascinating disrespect opening, e3, e5, e4. Beautiful. But like, yeah, let's just skip everything and get back into the action. They're starting sort of slowly, just developing. Now these bishops are looking at each other for no reason. Yeah, bishop is going back, so that in case of trade, a7 pawn can recapture and then open the file for the rook. This is not gonna happen. They simply keep the tension in the center. Yeah, I pulled out my glasses today so that I look a bit smarter, in case my commentary is stupid, so that at least visually I look like I'm saying something smart. I hope it works. And I also made the microphone louder, so I hope the sound is better, because I noticed last week it sounded kind of quiet. I looked at the replay later and I was surprised how quiet I sounded. So there was definitely something off with the settings. And I hope it's better today. Alright. I would argue this was a successful sacrifice for white, because now this is all open and black king is exposed. But maybe with two knights it can be defended. Maybe. Because white also hasn't developed yet, and it might take some time for white to bring pieces over. Of course, the initial idea was to bring queen here, but now I don't think how efficient it's gonna be. Yeah. I think black might defend this easily. So maybe sacrifices wasn't as good as it initially looked. And as you know, I'm rooting for black in this match, because black is my teammate. And I'm rooting for my teammate. At least for now. Later I will forget about him and focus on board number 1. Friendships are temporary. Elo is everything. Remember that. Yeah, I hope everyone is having a nice Sunday, enjoying some chess. Either watching chess or playing chess or doing both at the same time. What a nice thing to do on a peaceful Sunday evening. Yeah, on the first glance, bringing queen over there looks promising for the attack, but maybe the first concern for black is defense. However, there could be ideas of start walking king away like this. Although all of this looks a little sketchy, a little risky. Black certainly needs to play careful, maybe first bringing rook over here and then hiding the king behind. That would make sense to me. But I don't know how to play chess. So these are just random ideas. I'm just guessing. And we see that on the other board, Rutherford Mir has already won against Sloan Pawn 7. That was also pretty fast. Only 17 moves. In fact, yeah, I'm a bit confused. I guess white dropped a piece and black said, nah, don't want to play this anymore. Understandable, happens to the best of us. So for that reason also, let's take a look here. Hendrik 42 is beating, or is he beating Music 7? I don't think he's actually beating, but he has 1 pawn of advantage. However, this also looks a bit spooky, to be fair, for white. Who knows what will happen next, because I don't know. So Music 7 has potentially new account if he's equally facing Hendrik 42, but that's fine. That's how the cookie crumbles. That's how it goes sometimes in this online chess world. Since we have so many platforms, well, at least to be fair, 2 of them, Lichess and chess.com, people just go back and forth. And in this match, yeah, the big problem for Harp 98 for Alman is that he is very low on time right now. Robert De Miro has almost 2 minutes of advantage. That can't be good. Can't be good for black. But other than that, interestingly enough, king is still there where it was. So he didn't really decide to bring king away. Maybe there was no option. And now black goes for big attack. Very interesting. Thankfully, this check is covered by the knight. All right, so yeah, white simply creates an escape square for the king, so this doesn't really work anymore. However, can black do something about this? I'm curious to see what happens next. All right, I guess this works. King covers the escape square. Can white do something to stop even more? Does this work? I don't think it works because this is still very winning, I assume. Yeah. Is black just winning? Does white have an answer? Do you have an answer? Can white survive this attack? Is Aman actually winning? Our boy Aman. The legendary man. The man. The man, the man. The man of the hour. The man of the game. The man of the round. The man of the evening. Yeah. So white tries this. I guess it's some sort of last hope. I'm asking why can't queen simply capture g3 pawn? Perhaps it can. And now queen is forced, and then that's a mate. Come on, guys. You don't need to stale this. And Harp 98 wins his first match of the day. Let's go, Aman. Good for you. All right, now let's look at the game of... Oh, this is interesting. So Omar has only 20 seconds left. However, he's looking like he's attacking very, promising. At the same time, this is also a huge fight right now. Yeah. He pinned the queen, so it wasn't working for a moment. And still, he's super low on time, so I don't think he can do anything about that. I think he will simply lose on time, unfortunately, no matter what he does. Even if he plays perfect, 12 seconds is simply not enough for most people. Unless you're a champion of bullet. Yeah. But yeah, let's still watch the final seconds of this. Maybe he can find something, I have no idea. Congratulations, Aman. Very cool win, very strong attack, very impressive stuff. Keep going. Keep going, keep delivering. You're a deliverer. You're a delivery man. Do you think I should like put some background music in this tournament? Some techno, some jazz, some classical, something? Of course, we're not playing classical chess, so classical music doesn't really match. So yeah, Omar lost on time. Let's go to this game. Nash Sparrow against Hamburg. Hamburg has a huge advantage. He's simply playing queen and bishop against a naked king, and naked king indeed resigns. And we have one more game here. Hendrik 42 playing against Music 7 High. High Music 7. Nice nickname. So Music 7 is attacking the white queen. With the rook, queen of course can simply escape and potentially start its own attack. There are some interesting ideas of discovery check if king goes here. And perhaps we might see it very soon. No, we don't see it at all. Maybe, I don't know, I think that was quite an interesting idea, but now it doesn't work anymore. Now bishop can join the attack. Bishop indeed does join the attack. And yeah, queen can be captured. Very nice. And I think white simply wins this match. High Music 7 loses the game by checkmate. Very nice. And do we have any more games still ongoing? We do have game of Randir, I believe. So here we have, what do we have even? We have Randir 1 on time, I believe. Alright, that's also something. And I believe we are moving into next round, round number 3. Every game has finished. And yeah. How's it going, guys? How's the tournament? Okay. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. 6, 7, 8 games. And for that reason, let's go to Harp 98, of course. He's playing e4. That's very inspiring. If you play e4, you are Chad. Anyways, there's also a game between Runter from me and Hendrik 42. Both have 2 points. Maybe this is the board 1 at the moment. We also have Till the Goat and El Hamburguesito. El Hamburguesito, Daniel has 2 points as well. Here we have Ranvir against Havani. And let's add one more match. For instance, let me choose something interesting like... Okay, I have to choose Omar against Terence Till because both players are from my team. Stadtpark Barrio, let's go. Both players are from my team. And I bet one of them doesn't know the other one is the teammate. Maybe they both don't. But I do, and for me this is fascinating. However, we'll return here later. First we'll go to this game, I think. Or, I don't know, let's go to actually board number 1. Since we have board number 1. I think this is board number 1, both players have 2 points. And this is Runter von Meer against Hendrik 42. Also, there was information dropped in the chat about Reisdorfer Open. And I wanna see some... I wanna Google real quick, guys. I wanna know what that is and what's happening there. So this is some tournament starting 2 days ago. Alright, so I guess some people are playing there. Let me see if I see some familiar names on the list. I think I see someone with Latvian. I see 2 players with Latvian Federation, so I'm rooting for them, of course. What else is there? Oh, there are like multiple opens. So there's a open, there's another open. Alright, I don't have time to look into this right now, but later I will take a look-see. Hi and moin Marco Kleinert. Welcome to the show, welcome to the stream. We are watching chess here. Or at least I'm watching for sure, and I'm even trying to commentate. Attempting to commentate, attempting to say something reasonable. Or just chatting to you guys. I want to chat. I want to talk to you. Yeah, some reasonable captures in the center. He didn't want to move the rook, instead he decided to simply capture the knight with his bishop, bye-bye bishop. And now this knight also needs to reposition itself. Yeah, this is a nice square. Going back and also attacking this pawn, but this pawn is already protected twice by this rook and this knight. So there is no real threat at the moment, but potentially, yeah, this is an interesting idea. And now queen can go here to c2 square and potentially also attack this. However, most likely this bishop will also follow here and defend the pawn. There are also ideas of queen going here, but it doesn't look good at all because it will be simply attacked by the rook, so probably not a move at all. I would expect indeed a bishop here. Interesting, he sacrifices his rook for the bishop instead, and yeah, I guess that also works. Now the pawn is protected twice, and Runter von Meer is 1 pawn up. Or, no, not really, he is like an exchange up an exchange. And I think his pieces look pretty coordinated, nice, and black still has this inactive rook and this bishop that's being attacked, so he still needs to move his pieces once again, and this is simply not optimal for his gameplay. And something like rook to c5 comes to mind to attack this queen, but I don't think that's a very strong move, because queen will simply move away, or it will be blocked by this knight. Yeah, it doesn't look too impressive. There could be ideas of maybe putting this knight forward, but also keeping this knight here on this pawn is also quite useful, I believe. But what do I know? Chess is a game of ignorance. Depends on your rating. Sometimes it's the game of curiosity, the game of intelligence. That's what people want to think. But in the end, it's just a game, and we're all here to have fun, to enjoy ourselves, to have some nice time, some good time with this nice board game. What other board games do you like, guys? What is your favorite board game? Okay, while black is thinking, let's take a look at Harp 98 against Nash Sparrow. Both have 1 point, so this is pretty interesting battle. And while they have the same amount of points, they have like 600 difference of rating in Blitz. So it isn't as obvious as you might think based on the points. Sometimes ELO matters the most. However, you also need to remember that this is a Blitz tournament, and this is, yeah, upsets happen all the time in the Blitz, and especially in single games, because ELO and rating is something you build over time, but each individual game can, yeah, basically bring anything. Anything can happen, and that's alright. That's the fun part to it, I guess. Yeah, so I guess I want to say that I guess, but I don't really guess. I'm just looking at the numbers, looking at the position. Looks pretty open. And yeah, for a second, let's look here. Ranvir has lost against Havani. Why is that? I guess this cannot be stopped, and this checkmate fight is simply too strong to ignore, and Ranvir resigned in this position. Fair enough. Alright, let's go back. Let's take a look here actually. Omar against Terence Tilt. Omar is 1 point up, but I'm not sure if it's as simple as it seems. So this rook is attacked, but this rook can also move around. So it's not a big deal at the first glance, but maybe it is. Where can this rook actually go? This rook has nowhere to go. Look at that. It is captured anywhere it goes, except this square is still available, but then I guess he expects something like g4, and then rook is lost. Very cool. Very strong. Yeah, so he goes here, but I think this is simply a capture, unless I'm missing something. Yeah. Maybe Terence Tilt will resign in this position. This is certainly possible. No, he keeps on playing. He doesn't give up, and I really respect the spirit. And now this might also win another piece here, because yeah, double attack, this bishop cannot go because it wins the rook, and rook, if rook goes, bishop is also captured. And if he tries to attack the bishop, then it's also another capture. Yes, so Terence still loses another piece. Sadly for Felix, this is simply a capture here, nothing he can do. Although he doesn't want to capture because he is also afraid of this. Yeah, Omar is playing super safe. Gives no hope, gives no chances. And now, yeah, this is a simple capture. And knight up and many pawns. This is an easy victory for Omar. In the other game, Harp 98, Taman lost to Nash Sparrow. We don't have time to look at that because there is something happening here, something important. This is board number 1, both players have 2 points. And Ruther from here is up for materials, and Hendrik 42 only has 7 seconds. 7 seconds is never enough against 2 minutes. In fact, he will probably lose on time no matter what, unless he finds some crazy checkmate. Checkmate. There was no checkmate indeed. Hendrik simply resigned. He realized there is no chance. And yeah, here we have equally looking match between Tilda Goat and Hamburg St 22-11-5. Hamburg St has 2 points, but Tilda Goat has 1 point of material as an advantage. And he in fact played English opening. Very interesting. Let me take another sip of coffee before I forget even more English words out of my dictionary. Yeah, let's just look at this position in peace. Let's meditate. Let's evaluate our life decisions. And yeah, let's use chess as a tool for our meditation right now. How do you guys feel? How are you guys doing? Are you winning? Are you winning in life? Are you winning in chess? Are you winning in love? Are you winning in gambling? Don't gamble. Gambling is bad, especially if you're under 18. This stream doesn't support gambling. This stream is strongly against gambling, and this stream will never gamble, even for big money. Anyways, we have very interesting stuff here. This pawn, this H pawn is going to promote potentially, and black is trying really hard to stop it. And he's indeed on time, but black has no time on the clock. So white wins on time. Very cool. Congratulations to Tilda Goat. I wish it was Till from my team, but it's some other Till. Not the Till I know. And we're already in round number 4. Let's continue. So we have another board number 1. This looks like board number 1. Ruther from me with 3 points against Havani with 2 points. We also have Nash Sparrow with 2 points against Slow Pawn 7 with 2 points. Then we have Hendrik 42 against Tilda Goat. Both have 2 points. Then we have Hamburg St against Omar. Both are my teammates. Both have 2 points. And then we have Harp 98 against Ranvir. 2 of them are friends of the show. And I'll be happy to stay here, but I also need to go to board number 1. Runter from here right now with 3 points out of 4 is leading in the tournament. Yeah, very competitive tournament right now. We only have one person 3 points after 4 rounds. And everyone else has 2 or less. That's very cool. I like competitive tournaments. Of course, I'll also miss Molten Chess here. Molten Chess is the hero of the tournament, the legend in the making. And he is not playing today, unfortunately. Say hi to Molten Chess if you see him anywhere in your universe, in your surroundings. And yeah, there's a very cool E-pawn that has to be traded, or yeah, it's going there. The line, the E line, E file is now open. And yeah, this move is less strong without actual pin here than it usually is. However, the capture is still very interesting because it ruins the pawn structure. And now this king is sort of in the open. Not optimal at all. At the same time, you're the Till from... Oh, I know who you are. I know who you are, Till. Are you Till the Goat? Welcome to the show. You asked me today if... Yeah, I know. You asked me today if the tournament is happening, and you asked me what time. I know who you are. All right. Every Till is welcome here, especially Till, who is a very strong player. From U18, 3rd place. Welcome to the show. You have how many points? Till the Goat. You have 2 points. Keep on going. Right now, Runter from here is in the lead. I have to memorize so much information about you guys. You have different YouTube names, different chess.com names, and then you have real names. And all of this information is just different. You don't make it easy for me. Anyways, Queen is under attack, but I guess Queen will simply move back, maybe somewhere here. I'm not sure. Queen can go anywhere, but probably Queen will look for some aggressive position. And in this case, maybe Black also considers double attacking this knight and this queen at the same time. Could be interesting. Also potential this pawn is hanging right now, but there are bigger, yeah, there's a bigger fish. Black indeed goes for this attack first. And that's kind of interesting. Yeah. I like what I see. I like what's happening. Yeah, both teams or both players have sort of equally ruined structures on the king side, but queen side certainly favors white player. And now if black captures the pawn, we have triple pawn on this file, which I always welcome. Black indeed doesn't capture, instead black attacks the bishop on d3. Fascinating stuff. I still want black to simply capture this and create triple pawn. I love triple pawns. Unfortunately, white captures himself and we will not see triple pawn, but instead white or black has many split pawns, or how do you call them? Single pawns. Hot single pawns in your area. Want to chat with you. Watch out for that. Yeah, pawn structure is not looking nice for either of the players. And both players have rook and a bishop. I wonder who stands better. I sort of prefer placement of the pieces for black because he is already in the face of white's king. But there is no immediate threat, so it might be a bit tricky to get there. Yeah, and now black also brings his pawns forward, I guess to restrict the movement of white's pieces even more than it already has. Alright, so white bishop moves away from the line of attack of the rook. And yeah, now at the same time this rook attacks the d5 pawn. Potentially pawn to c6. Could be a logical move in this position, unless I'm missing a bigger picture here. Yeah, he goes for a more aggressive option. Pawn forward to d4. The white bishop sneaks through. And yeah, it's very unclear. So the smart thing black is doing, every single pawn is on a black square, on a dark square, and Bishop is unable to target any of that. Oh, look at this, double attack on a pawn and a bishop, forcing a trade. Yeah, and if bishop captured, then this pawn will be hanging. So, very nicely done by black. He's paying attention to these things. And now white king is pushing forward, pushing ahead. Now this is an interesting game to watch, isn't it? Oh, now this double attack drops a rook. And I believe it means white is winning. Ronda van Meer might lose his leading position after this round, if he doesn't create some miracles. Yeah, this tournament tonight is super competitive. There is no clear leader. And this is round number what? This is round number 4. So, yeah, white simply resigns, so the formula lost, and we have to go to another game. I wanna see, okay, in this game, Till the Goat lost against Hendrik42. I hope not because Till the Goat went to the YouTube chat to talk during the game. Let's not blame that. And game only lasted 21 moves. We had, what did we have? Semislav. I see. Alright, so basically winning a piece, and Till the Goat resigns on this piece, on this position. He's already one piece down, it seems. Alright, I understand. Let's go to Omar against El Hamburguesito, or other way around. El Hamburguesito, Daniel is playing against Omar. Stadtpark Barrio is playing here against each other. I play like 100 elo. Maybe you do, but in fact you have 1900 elo on this website. Wait, what's happening here? El Hamburguesito is some crazy attack going on here. Is this some sort of checkmate? I think it is a checkmate. Very cool pawn checkmate with b3 pawn push in just 27 moves. Karo Khan was destroyed. And Daniel has 3 points as well. Daniel is also in the lead. Cool stuff. Okay, let's go here. Harp98 is playing against Ranveer 100. Ranveer 100. So what do we have here? Rook and Queen against Rook and Queen. Joko Piano. Any Joko Piano fans in the chat? What is your favorite opening, guys? Tell me your favorite openings. And don't say Bird's opening. I know Bird's opening is the best. Tell me something else. When I just started playing chess, I was all about openings. I was simply looking at the openings all day long. Simply staring at them, admiring every single chess opening. Browsing through Wikipedia pages and YouTube videos. Simply admiring the beauty of chess theory. Yeah, so basically, I don't think black can defend this pawn, and Harp98 might be up 2 pawns. However, instead, there's a bigger fish. Ranveer is attacking the queen instead. Is that a plan? Can it actually work? A lot of pressure on Harp98. He wants to win, but he doesn't know how. So what happens if he captures the pawn here? Black attacks another pawn. What happens if... yeah. Yeah, this pawn is defended, so I don't think it matters a lot. And white simply double downs on this attack, I guess. Yeah. What's the plan here? Maybe rook up again and attack here? No, simply attack straight forward. Wait, he drops... okay, never mind. Wait, what was that? No, that was confusing. Wait! A man lost on time. Oh my god. Was it simply a flagging attempt? Did he give a check to surprise him and get him out of... oh my god, that was crazy. Yeah, man, what happened there? What happened there? You had this game in your hands. Wait, there's still some games ongoing? No, there are no games. We're in the round number 5. Let's see what's happening. There's Nash Sparrow against Havani, both have 3 points. Then we have Runter von Mir against Hamburg also. Both of them have 3 points. Then we have Slopan 7 against Hendrik 42. Hendrik 42 has 3 points. So at least 5 players have 3 points. And then we have Tilde Goat and Runner 100. Both 2 points. Both know each other very well. And then we have JG0405 against Omar. Both also have 2 points. This tournament is so competitive today. I want to make a screenshot if I can. Yeah, I definitely should. Yeah, I'm sharing this in the WhatsApp group. You cannot see this on the screen because my screen is not prepared to show this scoreboard. Everything is very neatly designed to not show anything important, or not important, I guess. And also let me put another game on the screen. So technically this is board number 1, Slope on 7. No, this is not board number 1. I'm lying. This cannot be board number 1. Anyways, let's watch this. Daniel, I wanna root for Daniel. He is my boy. He is my guy. He's playing against Runter von Mir. Both of them 3 points. Runter von Mir won this tournament twice. I think Daniel won the tournament at least once. I don't remember if he won twice. Anyways, let me drop this in the WhatsApp group first. Yeah, it was like 11 players and all of them are within 1 point in the lead. That's crazy. Anyway. Yeah, very beautiful structure by Runter von Mir here in the center. Everything looking nicely put together in the center. Everything under control, everything in place. But it's not so simple usually. Usually it's not enough to simply put every piece together in the center. Often it takes more to win. Okay, let me put YouTube back. Yeah, I don't see anything right now. Yeah, my coffee is almost over, so my energy levels are also going down, but we're still ongoing. This is round number 5, and honestly, this is the most important moment. We have so many players with 3 points, we need to lock in, we need to know who wins today. I really want to find out, and I'm curious if someone who hasn't won in a long time, or maybe someone who has never won before, can win tonight. That would be nice. I would love that. I would love that for the tournament. Yeah, there's very promising pawn push on g-file. I guess capture has to happen, and then even stronger capture. Or no, capture doesn't happen. He actually risks everything. Well, maybe it's not as risky, but it looks super scary. Now put a queen here and the game is over. However, there are still many defensive resources for black. Potentially the bishop can come there. Maybe another knight somehow. Yeah, bishop comes this way. I guess that works too. Yeah, and white pushes another pawn. Crazy guy. Yeah, I think white will win this by force. Opening the king side this aggressively, this early, is simply very strong. I wouldn't really know what to do here. Maybe he has to push a pawn forward, but then I'm not sure if this capture is actually good for black, or let's say he captures with the bishop, recaptures with the knight, and then it's pinned by this rook. This looks very, very sketchy. Maybe he just ignores it and recaptures with this one pawn is just standing in front of it, but now this pawn is pinned by the bishop. This is simply sad to watch. Yeah, this pawn can capture knight with a check. Yeah. Black or Daniel is in a huge, huge trouble in this match. Aman says he quits chess and plays Dota instead. Will you play Dota in a team? Now I would actually want to watch that. That would be fun for me. However, yeah, it's also good to have you in chess, so maybe you combine both things. You can play here and there, you can put less focus on chess, more focus on your Dota career. Anything is fun. Or go to futsal. We have a team. And you are much younger than many other futsal players. Don't underestimate the power of youth. Alright, so why can't Black capture this? Because of this, okay, this is defended by the bishop. I guess it works. Never mind, queen is defended by the bishop. There are no tactics here. Tactics are cancelled. So he can recapture, and queen, even if he captures the bishop, the queen, bishop will recapture the queen. So unfortunately this tactic isn't as present as we want, and Ruta von Mir is one piece up after all of this while I was yapping about Dota and chess, and Aman's career, Aman's youth, Aman's decisions. Yeah. This move cancels the discover check idea, first of all, but bishop can simply move away, right? Yeah. What's the plan? He attacks the rook, but the rook can also simply move away. To g1 potentially. Maybe h3 is more interesting, I'm not sure. No, g1 is more solid, I guess. Because he wants to go to the open file. That makes sense to me. Yeah, the position of this bishop is kinda interesting. And queen is simply, yeah, going places. There was this discovery check, but I guess white has bigger plans for this attack. There will be no discoveries. Yeah, I want to look what happened in the other matches, but also this one is looking interesting. Although Daniel is still in huge trouble. So I would be surprised if this bishop is not pinned right away. Bishop is indeed pinned to the king. And yeah, I'm sensing huge trouble. Bishop to d1 is asking to happen. I guess this also works, even more efficiently. However, now, yeah, maybe I preferred bishop d1 actually. Well, anyways, white has very strong attack, and I don't think black can survive this, no matter what am I saying. Another check, just series of checks, series of trouble. Playing chess on my tempo while looking this tournament make me win 3 games in a row. Alright, congratulations to you. Chess on my tempo. What are you playing? Are you playing this tournament or are you playing something else? What are you doing? Oh, is it Joseph, right? You're from the chat, you're from the WhatsApp. You reacted with emoji to my message about the tournament, right? Welcome to the stream. Enjoy the show. And if it helps you, if it inspires you, I'm glad it helps. Yeah, this simply endless attack on a king keeps on going. How many checks in a row has it been? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the streak was broken, but the attack doesn't end. What's happening? This king is being bullied like, I don't know. I don't even want to make any comparison. This bullying is off limits and Daniel has lost. So I believe Ruta von Mir is once again in the lead with 4 points. In the other game, Hendrik 42 has won against Slow Pawn 7. Hendrik 42 also has 4 points. And in this game, Nash Sparrow has lost against Havani. Havani also has 4 points. So there are at least 3 people in the lead after this round. And then we have Tier the Goat, who won against Runner 100 on move 20. Very quick games today. I mean, at least some games end very quickly. Okay, here we have Omar playing against JG0405, both with 2 points, both with very little time on the clock. But JG has 3 pawns of advantage, I believe. Is it 3 pawns? No, it's just a whole bishop. A whole bishop of advantage. That's what it is. Just trading some pawns here, both very low on time. I don't think any advantage matters if you lose on time. I really don't. Yeah, if you're confused like me, black pawn goes downwards. Yeah, another pawn has been dropped. as well as the bishop here. Omar unfortunately has only 2 seconds against the 8 seconds of JG, and Omar lost on time. Very unfortunate for him. Another Caro-Kann loss for him. We're going into round number 6, I guess, and we have 3 players with 4 points. And I'm once again tempted to screenshot this. So yeah, we have 3 leaders, Runter von Mier, Havani, and Hendrik 42, all of them with 3 points. Let's see if I can catch some other game. Yeah, here we have some potential board number 1, Hendrik 42 against Havani. Then we also have Runter von Mier against Tilda Goat. And then we have slow pawn, no, this is Nash Sparrow against JG0405. And here we also have Elham Burguzita Daniel against slow pawn 7. And let's add one more game. I want to watch this battle between 2 very nice people in our group chat, in our community. Harp 98 against Noob Learner 11. And yeah, someone wants to join the group. Let them join. And let me post this. 3 leaders of before going into final round. Yeah, 3 leaders going into final round. I'm curious to see. But for now, we are stuck here watching Harp 98 playing as Noob Learner 11. Noob Learner 11 is in the trouble. This position looks uncomfortable. Sorry. This position looks super uncomfortable for black. But this is board number 6 or 7. And I want to look at the board number 1. Let's see where board number 1 is. I believe it was this one, yes. Havani against Hendrik 42, both of them with 4 points. The winner of this game certainly has an edge to win the tournament. Let's also remember that the draw is possible. And let me open YouTube again. No new commentary in the chat. That's fine. We are locked in on the chat. We have no time to chat. We have only time to watch and play. Watch and play is the what? Is the motto. Is the slogan of the tournament. Yes, that would be a cool idea for White to attack like this. However, that would lead to some complications for himself. That's why he doesn't want to do that. This a3 pawn was a little strange. I don't really understand that, but I guess after castling, knight could go here. No, it couldn't really go because of this pawn. Yeah, very confusing move, but whatever. Confusing moves is what makes chess chess. I would actually capture this knight to uglify these 2 pawns. I think that would be reasonable. Instead, he pushed everything here. Yeah, now it's not going to work anymore. Now even if he captures, black can recapture with another pawn, and there is no uglification possible. I guess the reasonable idea is to simply ignore and put the knight forward. Now that this square is weakened after f5 move, it would be very reasonable to play knight to e5 to put this in a very strong square, which cannot be really attacked. Well, to be fair, it can be attacked very easily by this other knight, but yeah, the square is still very strong. Instead, White simply improves his pieces, brings everything forward. Makes sense to me. And so does Black. Knight to g6. Also covers the e5 square if White decides to control it. Very cool stuff. Now we have 8 concurrent viewers. I welcome you all on the stream, on the show. We are watching Hamburg Sunday number 10, 15th of March, round number 6, board number 1. Havani against Hendrik 42. I'm not sure if either of them has ever won the tournament. Maybe they have, and I simply don't remember. I could try looking it up on the other screen, but maybe I don't want to. Yeah, no Molten Chess today. David is writing in the chat. That's sad indeed. I am also very saddened to not see Molten Chess here, my favorite player. And where is Wiki? Yeah, many interesting questions in the WhatsApp group. Unfortunately, I have to focus on the match here. I cannot chat everywhere. I have to be here. But we can chat here. If someone wants to drop a comment, write in the chat, I will reply. In the meantime, what's happening in this match? I'm not so sure. Bishop goes to b1. Yeah, I'm not sure where this bishop wants to go. Even if this bishop goes to, let's say, a2, potentially interesting square, I'm not sure if it achieves anything there. Well, it might prevent queen from coming anywhere here, but I'm not sure if that's in the books anyway. I feel like black will attack on king side either way, so yeah, this bishop is simply in the waiting mode. So now this trade between the knights is very likely, and I would say that's a solid trade. Yeah. Alright, now this knight is sort of pinned, isn't it? So why does this not work? This doesn't work because queen has a check on g3. Otherwise that would be a very interesting move. Maybe it needs to be prepared. However, if he prepares it, queen will simply go somewhere else. And then, yeah, no danger. No danger, stranger. If you simply move away. No tactics here. Alright, so this also moves away from tactics, I guess, but I'm not sure. Now black has some other tactics potentially with checks here and there. Yeah, what's the plan here? I guess this still works, but then black comes with a very strong attack. So it's not worth winning a knight or we're losing a game, right? Are we all on the same page here? Are we all thinking the same way? I hope we are. I feel like it's some very risky stuff happening right now here. Yeah, black is playing a very patient game. He could probably even double rooks here or push this pawn again. I feel like even some sacrifices could be possible here with the knight, with some checks. It's all a bit spooky for white at the moment. However, both players are playing it sort of safe, sort of solid, not risking much at the moment. They're trading their queens, but now, yeah, trading queens is not good because now there's this tactic. Hendrik 42 wins an exchange. Or does he? I think he does win an exchange. And now he has a sort of slow minor advantage. He's playing bishop and rook. I mean, he's playing two rooks against rook and a bishop. And yeah, normally this advantage is good enough to win the match. However, it's a blitz game and both players have only 1 minute and they need to figure out how to do that. However, black wins another pawn and it's simply getting better and better for Hendrik 42. He is already 5 points up. Hendrik 42 is potential winner tonight. About to get 5 points. Yeah, and I'm also sad there is no mode in chess in the tournament. I see Rishi is also in the chat. So many people in the chat. So many familiar faces in WhatsApp group. Yeah, anyways, I'm getting distracted. The game is still ongoing. Oh yeah, also as I said, every other game has already finished. So board number 1 is the one of the most tension. There's also still this game ongoing. Omar against Robert De Miro. Robert De Miro has 2 points up in material. Now only 1. Very interesting game, and potentially this move is looking promising, but maybe not right away. Very interesting stuff. Let's go back to board number 1. Will Hendrik 42 win the tournament? That's the question I have. Does anyone else have the same question? Yes, rook to g3 is very logical, and now this attack will happen, but is there a checkmate? Is there really a checkmate after this? You got fried. Did you get fried livered? Wait, what's happening here? We have bishop against the rook, but black has 1 million pawns and also some time advantage. He's even trading these last pieces, and he will play for this superior pawn storm advantage. Black is certainly not losing this. Black is in fact winning. Now this is a bit tricky. Well, black is in time to save, so it's all fine. And the tournament is about to end. In the other match, Omar has won against Robert De Niro. Congratulations to Omar. Yeah, now just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns against the world. 4 pawns. 1 pawn became a queen. And white is only having 2 seconds on the clock. This game will end very, very soon, and Henrik 42 with 5 points might win the tournament. Bang. Black won by checkmate. Henrik 42 has not won the tournament. Runter von Meer once again won the tournament. I think it's his 3rd or 4th time winning our tournament. Congratulations to Runter von Meer. Very well deserved, but super nice tournament today. Very close competition. Many people were like in contention, very close. Very nice stuff. And some of you were even in the chat. Nice to see you here. Alright, congratulations to the winner, Runter von Meer. Once again did that. Once again conquered our tournament. And now we need to do the thing. We need to select the lucky winner of Diamond membership this week. For that, I will have to open the tournament here on the club page and see who was playing without any membership. So let's go to club events. Hamburg Sunday number 10. So yeah, here you can see 1st place Runter von Meer, 2nd place Henrik 42, and 3rd place Havani. I think all 3 of them had 4 points before final round, so I think it's well deserved. Alright, now I need to select candidates for the lucky Wheel of Names, wheelofnames.com. So first we have El Hamburg Quesito 2022-15. Then we have Till the Goat, who was in the chat, also Kung Fu Panda. Then we have Omar Estik 2005. Then we have Harp 98 in contention for Diamond membership. Then we have Robert De Niro. I spelled his name wrong. Let me write again. Robert De Niro. Music 7 High hasn't finished the tournament. And Noob Learner 11 has his own membership. Alright, so we have 5 people here who are fighting for our Diamond membership. And let's see. Who is the lucky one tonight? And can you believe, joining the chat is actually worth it. Till the Goat, congratulations to you, you're winning the Diamond membership this week. And soon you will receive it from chess.com staff. Congrats to you, congrats to everyone, and see you next Sunday. Thank you for joining, have a nice week ahead. Bye bye everyone. See you soon, enjoy chess, have fun. If you still haven't had dinner, go have dinner. If you go to bed, good night. I will see you next time around. Bye bye.